everyone. It's Jeb Hamwerger from GoldStockTrades.com. It's Friday, August 21st, 2020. I want to give an update on the market this week. And really what everyone's watching is we're seeing some dollar strength. Dollar has been hit really to new lows. So this is really the first week that there's been some support from dollar index, which has been pretty much in straight decline since March. And the stocks S&P 500 is testing a critical level at all-time highs. So you have the dollar, which is hitting new lows, stocks at highs, gold and silver at highs, and metals at highs. So, you know, this is really what's going on, is that we've had a weakened dollar that has really boosted a breakout in stocks, especially the tech stocks, and especially those cash-rich tech companies led by Apple and Amazon. So really what we've seen is a massive rally, pretty much in because of this declining dollar, because of this record expansion on this balance sheet for the Fed. Record amount of deficit to try to fight off this coronavirus crash. So right now, stocks are all-time highs. Stocks are all-time highs. The dollar's at lows, and gold, which has had a breakout move, and silver, which has had breakout moves. Silver's been up almost double the past few weeks, from $15 to $30. Gold's gone up from $1,500 to $2,000, with a major breakout to our target at $2,000, which we were expecting this summer. It hit that target, and now we've seen some profit taking at that target. A couple of weeks now, second week of consolidation. Very normal in the gold market to see a 2-week, like we saw in March, especially after a major breakout, you have a little bit of a shakeout, profit taking. We think it's going to be short-lived, and the same thing with silver. It's kind of stalled here for a couple of weeks. It's kind of normal when you have a run up from $15 to $30 for it to consolidate, and that's what we're seeing here in the silver market. Copper looks very interesting. We've seen a huge move in lumber prices, and we do think that copper's testing that $3 mark, which is a huge breakout level for copper. And copper's also testing highs after its crash to $2 during the coronavirus crisis. So this has been really the first week for the dollar to rally in many, many weeks since the coronavirus crash. So that's why you have a little bit of a stalling and a ho-hum, as Eric Sprott calls it, a ho-hum week in the junior mining market. But there's been a lot of important developments. Maritime Resources, they announced closing of 8.7 million bought deal private placement. I've been talking about this for several weeks, months now, about them expanding the exploration at Hammerdown and finding that offset at depth. Now with this money, they can, really look at making this discovery. What also you should be doing your homework on is insider buying. Look at Allegiant Gold in Nevada, AUAU on the TSX Venture. You see a lot of insider buying. They may look like what they're seeing at this Bolo property that's being drilled right now by New Placer Dome in northern Carlin Trend, Nevada. And they're following up just south of a 30-meter intersection of 30 meters of 3+ gram gold material. And Allegiant's pretty well known because these are the properties that came out of Cordex. Cordex is the group that has found like 5 major gold mines and changed Nevada from the silver state to becoming known as the gold state, and becoming one Barrick and Newmont's most profitable mines in Nevada. It's been a remarkable year for us in the gold sector. Financial Post had an article today that 2020 has been a record year for the TSXV because we were hit down so low, and it's been led by the top performers such as Pure Gold Mining and Great Bear. We also seen Free Gold and Roscan. Roscan came out with an update after the coup in Mali and said there's been absolutely no impact to exploration to date. And not only that, but they're adding a fifth drill rig. And the exploration program has not been affected. And the company continues drilling as normal despite being attacked this week by the shorts. Another one that's been attacked by the shorts this week is Eric Sprott and Rob Cudney's G2 Goldfields. We see the CEO seeing that this is undervalued. He's buying shares in the market as well. Dan Noon, he bought it at 72.5 cents. Management just got options at 75 cents, and the shorts crashed it down. And you could get today, I think it was trading around 65 cents. I picked up a few shares. LGDRF on the OTC. Drilling is imminent on a significant mine. It's a 4-kilometer long mine zone, the Aramu mine. And I've seen some of the rocks. It's been posted on social media. You should check them out at G2 Goldfields on Twitter. It's getting some smart people interested, some of the smartest people in the mining sector. This week we had a company, QMX, that hit great results in the junior mining sector. I do not have a position yet, but I'm looking into it, and they had some great results. I was hoping to hear Eric Sprott comment on it, but he didn't comment on it this week, which was a little bit strange. But he did comment on Free Gold, and he mentioned that he's waking up every day expecting excellent drill results from Free Gold, which has become one of Eric Sprott's largest gold positions. But it hasn't had news. It hasn't followed up on that May drill results. That unbelievable drill hole, maybe one of the most significant drill holes of 2020. So he just put money in at $1.10. So we don't know if it's going to pull back there, but this is the first time it's pulled back to the 50-day moving average. And generally speaking, when you have a breakout move, you wait till the 50-day moving average catches up, and that's when you can get what's called a secondary buying opportunity. That's what we might be approaching now, as it pulls back to the 50-day moving average. What else is going on this week? Well, that's pretty much it. Lots of interests coming into the sector. Keep a close eye also on Libero Copper. They have some incredible visible gold on surface that they're going to be drilling. B2 Gold is a major shareholder there. What other charts look interesting? Sun Metals chart looks like a cup and handle. They were beaten down last year with results that weren't as good as the market hoped, but it looks like they may be bottoming, and they're continuing to drill possibly one of the best copper gold discoveries in Canada in BC, Sun Metals, SUNM, on the TSX Venture. Also, another company to follow, Rock Ridge, ROCK on the TSX Venture, had an interesting breakout this week. They just received the drill permit for phase 2 of a drilling program that's following up on a discovery where they hit 28 grams of gold over 6 meters. And what was interesting about it was shallow, only 95 meters down. And this is they're drilling right between Newmont and IAMGOLD near Timmins, Ontario, which has become a very exciting mining area, and where they're finding high-grade gold. Another one that we recently invested in is Viscount Mining. They raised $5.75 million to start drilling and expanding a high-grade silver resource in Colorado. Remember this Viscount, VML on the TSX Venture? This was supposed to be mined by Tenneco. It was advanced pretty far by Tenneco back in the 80s before it was acquired and the silver price dropped below $5 and the property lay dormant for 20 years. But they have some great prior historical results, very high grade silver in Colorado, and the stock's just breaking out this week on volume. Any other notes that I have before we conclude? The electric vehicle boom. Tesla's hitting $2,000 a share, a massive rally. The battery metals is an area that I'm still looking at, maybe as a reversal. Cobalt prices had a little pop this week. The rare earths, Chinese rare earth producer Shengyi set to lose tens of millions of dollars after reporting once-in-a-century flooding in the southwest Sichuan province, shut down plants and damage inventory. This could have an impact on the rare earth sector. And I don't think we are near a top in the gold stocks. We're still, if you look at gold stocks versus global stocks, we're still really cheap. So that means that, we might have a couple of week correction in gold, and the juniors might not go up every week or 2 weeks. But the long term, there's going to be a major re-rating here. So you got to stick to it. And you might have to hold off. You might have to go through a couple of weeks of seeing your accounts decline a little bit before the major run-up. I mention a few more companies that are in my portfolio that I think have made significant progress, even though the market might not be seeing it. Generation Mining came out with metallurgy this week. And the metallurgy is improving. These companies are coming out with new reactors, new stage flotation reactors that, a lot of the metallurgy is 20, 30 years old. So Generation Mining showed that they can report significant increases in palladium and copper recovery, which is so important as they're in the feasibility study. And as they're doing their feasibility study, I expect that this is going to have dramatic effect on lowering the costs. Even though the market doesn't really look at metallurgy, it's one of the things that I look at first. Is when you're studying these economic studies, you really want to make sure the metallurgy is okay, because if you're seeing recoveries 70%, it could, when it gets to production, it is just a nightmare. And so metallurgy is the first thing that you got to look at in an economic study. Big news this week, I forgot to mention, and I spoke to the CEO this week, and I hope to have an interview update with a couple of, more companies closed financings this week that I participated in Enduro Metals. This is really an interesting, it's run by a young, brilliant geologist who's been up in the Golden Triangle for years. He put a lot of money into this company, which is, this property is located right between Skeena, SK Creek, and the Galore deposit. So these are two massive gold deposits that's sitting on both sides of this property, and these guys are hitting high-grade gold over major intersections, and drilling's already underway. They just raised $11 million, led by Rob McEwen, the founder of Goldcorp. So very ENDR on the TSX Venture. I expect to hear more news about that. And another company I spoke to today and hope to have an interview out is Martin Walter from Nubian Resources. They just closed a $4 million financing. He's Australian. He's from Victoria. He knows the area well. He picked up an excellent property around Fosterville. Fosterville's, the Kirkland Lake success is because of Fosterville. It's one of the top producing and low-cost gold mines, and it's created a massive gold rush in the area. And they also have a major silver project in Peru that Eric Sprott loves and just helped fund them for $4 million, and they were able to get 100% control of the project. So that's it for today. Very exciting week. Major financings have been closed, and we expect that eventually the junior miners will go through the next leg higher. But it's not going to come quickly. It requires patience. It requires us to have a couple of weeks where you do see your accounts go down. But you got to stomach it. Can't catch every little top. Can't catch every little bottom. Got to stick to the long game and stick to good companies. And eventually you have one or two that have major moves like we have seen. Again, thank you for tuning in to Gold Stock Trades, and I hope to keep you updated. Please note this is the last week of August. I do expect to spend more time before the school year starts with my family, so you might not be seeing the same frequent posting as usual, but I expect in September to have a lot of interviews and a lot of posts and a lot of interest coming back into the junior miners. So stay tuned, have a wonderful weekend, and please keep in touch.